All right, you guys ready to get going?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we got to start with
Are we starting with?
XP.
Yeah, cool.
Does
MP.
anybody remember what we did last time?
Um, what did we do last time?
I
We
believe
finished off
if I'm,
the
if I'm
excruciating.
recalling correctly, Robert Steele caught a giant rod of steel.
Right.
That's
Yes.
two.
That's the thing that happened. I don't think it was actually steel. I think it was something else.
Yeah. Was it bunting rod? What was it called?
I call it
a
a dowsing rod.
dowsing
Dowsing
rod.
rod.
It's theoretically it's like a kind of rod that you stick into earth to see how deep it is, or try and find
Okay.
oil, or find
Yeah,
water.
and I caught that.
Yeah.
A giant skyscraper-sized one of those.
Yep. And he threw it back at her.
I did, and they caught it. It was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the Okay. What's
I think
the name?
I ended up. What did I do? I inspired enough sadism in the newly created clone Imperator for it to go hunt down the extrusion that created it, right?
Right. So it took off. It's now in the deep mythic, they call it, where all the other Imperators fight the Excrucians.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Very
not
cool.
the safest place for it, but if you guys don't interact with it anymore, then I have a plan.
Okay, that's insert the creepy music. Yeah,
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, I'm not like the
What else
Cylons. I actually have plans.
A dinosaur ate the clone of Robert as well. That also happened. So that's no longer around. And then Robert and I had
we had like an
Robert-
hour-long character moment.
Yeah. And I think the game ended, I think, with all of us in my church.
Right.
In the Cathedral of St. Sebastian.
Where you found two other nobles already in the process of meddling, who were music and change.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
the meteor also found its target for Phineas.
Right.
Yep.
And I invented a new form of noble. It's almost masturbation, I guess, where I anchored myself, my clone.
Yeah, I decided to represent that like not fully anthropomorphic.
Mm-hmm.
It's still mostly concept, but as it is your anchor, you can change that if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we did a lot last game. Actually, this is moving quickly now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a question, just to clarify things. The clone Robert was an anchor. Oh, but no, but when you created it as an anchor, you undid. It's the anchor from the extrusion, right?
He defeated
okay.
the anchor in combat, therefore it became his.
I see. Okay, I was wondering about that. Cool. Oh, never mind.
Which I'm not entirely sure is by the book, but there's nothing that says that you can't. So
it looked cool.
I'm going to go with yes, you can do that. All right, let's look at XP. Let's see here. How Trek claimed change as an anchor. I'll give you a trivia because now you found her.
Right.
Where's that? Here we go. You already have a trivia. I can't remember what that's about.
I think it figuring out how to anchor something else.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You learned how to anchor. Also with that. Trek didn't find a home. Trek hasn't done anything with the witch. He didn't do anything to free her. How I learned to manipulate the physical world. I don't know. Did you manipulate?
I did possess a guy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you did that before too, right? But you didn't have the project done. Okay. I'll give you a trivial for that.
What do these need to get to break? 15?
10.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, 10? Okay.
I think it's 10, yeah.
Yeah, that just hit 10.
Did it? Okay. You're right. Oh wait, is it 10? Let me check. 15. You need to get to 15.
Oh, it is 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, got that wrong. Sorry.
It's fine. Let's go back to his entropy page. And haven't really inspired Umaya to leave the chancel.
Nope.
Alright, let's go
And
to
the other one
Primarch.
hasn't been touched yet.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though.
Don't have to do too much to progress that. Let's see. How I took care of my family despite being nobles.
Yeah, I believe I think we discussed that a lot during my character moment with Phineas or Robert. He talked about his family a lot, and he was basically convinced that he can
Okay.
see his family in. I believe. Did you convince him that he can in person?
I mean, I think that's what the So in our last episode, I started an evangelical movement within the Catholic Church for the sole purpose of convincing Robert to tend to his family.
You know, like you do.
Okay.
Because why not? And that's an active miracle that's still going on. But yeah, I think you did. I don't know if it's a revelation or a victory or what in the mechanics, but I think you had decided that you had overcome your sadistic characteristics and could still sort of love them. And spend time in the world.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a trivial victory.
Yeah, we didn't. It wasn't an actionable thing.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I want to give you failure for coming to terms with being one of the Nobilis because you lied about your estate.
I didn't lie about my estate because I wasn't. My reasoning for that was because people tend not to trust someone of sadism.
Okay.
And so it wasn't a lie of self-denial. It was a lie of I don't trust you. You.
Okay. Do you feel like you get anything in that project?
I think so because I interacted with the other Nobilis as equals because I think that Robert is more coming into his role as a fellow Nobilis. He's not like suppressing or repressing or he's not saying he needs to get back to his life that much anymore.
Sure, I'll give you a victory for that. I gotta give people MP for these too. Let me just count these up real quick. Well, that's 0. That's 0. That'll be 0 too. Let's see. How was I most deeply hurt in my past? Nothing there so far. And how I vindicated my Imperator in the eyes of heaven? Nothing there so far.
Not yet.
Okay. Alright, let's look at Matt. Let's see here. How I healed my Imperator.
I don't think we have that one. Unless you want.
I'll give you a trivial for purifying your Imperator.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I did do that, you're right.
But not that it actually accomplished much, so it's trivial. How I captured the soul of the creator. I don't feel like this is a new thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally up to you. Is finding in a previous episode, we sent Trex meteor to find which has an awesome name, by the way, that I wrote down. Gunning Gap, the meteor.
Oh yeah, Gunning Gap.
The name of the meteor that destroyed all the dinosaurs is Gunning Gap.
Yep.
So we had sent it last time, and it has now found the location. So yeah, if you feel like that's kind of the result of the same action, then I'm fine with that.
It's the same thing, really.
Okay.
And how I stopped the deceiver, Tarte up and pushed him from entering creation. I'm gonna give you a failure because he has entered creation.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he has. And left your chancel.
What? He didn't follow the rules? They were very clearly written in the document.
He doesn't know the rules.
Oh, I assumed he was going to read his contract.
Oh, he did, but he didn't read between the lines.
Okay.
So,
gosh darn it. All right. Yeah. I'm taking him to court. That's it.
Take him to court.
That's what I got to do.
All right. Let me look really quickly at these bonds and afflictions, see if I can remember anything that would give you MP for these. For that failure, I will give you all 2 MP.
We can just drop those anywhere, right?
Yep, anywhere you want.
Okay, I'm running out of domain, so I'm gonna...
Yeah. Let's see here. You have duties to the church. You get MP for bonds? I think so. You get MP from your bonds, you get into trouble. Somebody else gets you in trouble with it. You do something cool that it drove you to do that fulfills or exemplifies to bond. Okay. So I'll give you... How much MP do you get? Yeah, I'll give you 1 MP for your... I have duties to my church.
Okay.
I think that's the only one.
Yeah, I think that's right. Just returning to my church is all I...
Right. See here, Robert's bonds. I don't think any of these got in trouble. Or drove the story forward. No, I guess your bond to get your old life and family back did. So we'll give you 2 MP for that. And then Zen. I gave you some trouble for not having a physical body. You made some promises to Xena because you can't leave anyone in place. So I'll give you an MP for that.
Oh, yeah. That was Trek who ended up promising that, right?
Mm-hmm. Alright, I think Zen will get 2 MP.
Okay.
And also last time... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to bring up the fact that also last time we established that we're in the fine state of Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just north of the Great Dismal Swamp.
Mm-hmm. We have the town, don't we? What was the town name?
Windsor? Was it?
I think
close to there.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, because there had what it was is there had been like a highway that traveled past here that then got sucked into our chancel and retroactively no longer exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're south of Richmond. Yeah, Windsor.
But west of Norfolk.
I think right now we're actually in Windsor.
Yeah, we're in Windsor. The chancel is near it, but we're in it.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so let's...
Was it Windsor or was it Suffolk?
I think it was Windsor.
Okay.
It's Windsor because I feel like the church is smaller town.
Yeah, fair enough.
Suffolk looks kind of large. Definitely like a scale of magnitude larger.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys are in the church. Do you want to fast forward some, or you want to reestablish what everyone's doing?
We ended. Yeah, let's just go through what we were doing last.
Sure.
Phineas, you were preaching a sermon and starting a new offshoot, Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just watching, I think, the rest of us.
I was inspiring the people hearing the sermon to take it with them where they go and spread out.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true.
Right.
And I was
Yeah,
just
and
listening.
Robert, you were interacting with the other two nobles, but I don't think we've quite
Yeah.
established what they actually want, other than they've introduced the concept of female bishops.
Yeah, and they thought that you would be too busy, despite the fact that they're also nobilis, to be here.
Right. Little do they know about my bond.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your affliction.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, Will, did you have a scene you want to frame, or like I have it's a bit of a time skip, but I potentially have a scene I could frame, but I don't know what you had planned, and I don't have to do it if you have a direction already.
Right. I think there's like this update where after you gave your sermon, there was some music, and then the new bishop starts giving her sermon. Oh, did I give her a name? I thought I did.
You did. It's Livia.
Oh yeah, Livia.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Livia, the Bishop Livia, gets up to the podium and starts giving her sermon, and she says, "I want to thank Bishop Phineas for sharing his words with us and reminding us that the world is a larger place, full of mysteries we can barely understand. But I want to bring a sense of calm and peace to you. We've all seen the reports of the meteor on TV and our worries about what that will bring for us in the future. Unfortunately, what the scientists say is true. When the meteor crossed past with the moon, it changed the orbit, and the floods will be coming. But I'm told that there is an ark being prepared for all of us. There's a place of safety." And she points towards the river and says, "Not far, just barely within sight, you can see the outline of the lighthouse being built. They've put it on a pedestal that will rise above the waters, and it is large enough for all of us and our families. And we've all been guaranteed a place of safety there." And you hear the people like saying, "Hallelujah," and we're saved. She says, "Now let us all join our hands in prayer and thank God for sending this salvation to us." And then the people begin to pray.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to do. That's my scene.
I think while they are praying, Robert wants to have a whispered conversation with the nobilis of change.
Okay.
Let me grab their names again. Can you tell me their names? I think they did introduce the names.
No,
I just didn't write
they're
that
just
down.
calling themselves Change and Music.
Change in music? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I just I was probably rather near. They were both women? I can't remember.
That's right. Change is wearing like a kind of white robes. And like we see in the priestess. Music is wearing kind of a mad scientist outfit, complete with goggles and a lab coat.
Right. Okay. So I think Robert, goes up to change, or was probably already near change, and simply says, "So, what is the estate of change like? Like, can you change anything and anyone?"
Yes, I can change anything. But it's mostly over the process of change.
What do you mean?
I determine what it's like to change, to decide if change is good or if change is for bad. Have you read you said you're the Power of Business. Have you read the reports about how people like change? Like if you just change the lights on a switchboard, or you change the process for getting on a train, even if it's not more efficient or cheaper or anything, just the mere fact that it has changed, people like it.
Some people like it. Some people don't.
That's kind of the issue with being a noble, isn't it? Just because something means something doesn't mean everyone experiences it that way.
True. There's a long pause, and then Robert, he finally asks, "How big of a change could you make? Like, could, hypothetically, you change someone from or to a nobilis?"
She thinks about it and she says, I could do it. That would be very dangerous.
Why?
It would mean interfering with other imperators and changing the state of the world. The more potent the miracle, the less control you have over it.
I see.
So I could make someone a power, a noble, but I would probably get the cooperation of another imperator who's seeking a power. As for making someone not a noble, I could try, but it would probably have drastic consequences.
Robert's eyes light up, and I think he says, "Just a minute," and then telepathically will ask Trek and Phineas about inviting these nobles to visit our chancel, more specifically our imperator, if to see if they can change in a good way our imperator to make them no longer quite as broken as they are.
I say, shoot, I have to think about this for a second, because I think as a player I'm having a different reaction than Phineas would, because I don't want to trust them, me, Matthew, but I feel like Phineas probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Trek goes, I think you get a resounding affirmative. He's kind of been enamored with change ever since he met her. Like,
Okay.
he hasn't said anything to her, but like he's just been staring at her the entire.
Okay. You're like in the background shot of this conversation whenever we see changes, like half of the conversation.
Currently possessed some kind of hot rodder.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Right now, Trek looks like figure like circa late '90s Mark Paul Gosselaar with like a chin strap beard.
Nice. Yeah, I think I just say back. I have some questions to ask them as well.
Okay. So then, yeah, Robert says I don't know if music is there, but
Yeah,
if she
music's
is,
there.
then
She's
she says
kind
it
of
to both of them.
giving you like a knowing look.
Right, because she didn't believe my lie. Change did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Robert says, I don't know, I'm new to this, so I don't know how to put this, how appropriate it is, but I would like to invite the two of you to our chancel. More specifically, our Imperator. I don't know what is up with your Imperator, but ours is could use some change for the better.
So I think music says, "Oh, I have other obligations, but you can go if you want." She says to Change, and Change kind of looks apprehensive and says, "Oh, I would love to help an Imperator if I could, but any Nobilis can cause change."
Not as well as you, I'm sure. Question: can my skill of lying help me tell if music is lying?
Sure.
Okay, I have a 5 in it. So are they lying about other obligations? They just not want to?
No, they have other obligations.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I reply like not as well as you. I'm sure.
And Change
Yeah, we
says,
can.
"Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to make the world a little bit better. I'm sure you would know your Imperator and their desires much more than I would."
They. How would you put this? Our Imperator doesn't feel, I would call, good about themselves right now. And I don't think any of us three are really in the position to help them as well as I believe that you could. Either or both of you. Again, looking back at music.
Why is
Does
that?
another time work? Oh, because, well, A, we are relatively brand new powers, and B, because they're really sad. Like, they just had a visit from an angel, and the angel was like, "No, you're awful, and I don't want to get into anymore because it's personal. They can tell you." They're basically, I'm almost talking I almost feel like Robert is more now beginning to talk about um, like a nephew of his or something that is like being bullied in school.
Okay.
It's like he almost has that tone. Like it's not his fault. The angel keeps like dissing him, and he feels really bad about himself. Doesn't do his homework, but he almost takes on that tone to try and be like, we can help, but he'll listen, or more you'll help him more.
All right. Why don't you send an intention about this?
My intention is to get them to come to my full intention is to get them to come to our chancel, to get change to come to our chancel immediately.
Okay. What level do you want to make this intention?
Do I have anything that would help? What? No, I think that's just resisting stuff, right? Shine is just another cool and shine are both resistance type of skills, right?
No. Cool is resistance, yes, but shine is basically when anybody does what you tell them to do, they get a skill bonus if they decide to do it.
Okay.
So you can make it so that, if you look at the chart, right, like the higher the chart is, the more effective and self-affirming that action is.
Yeah.
Like the example is, if you tell someone to jump in the lake and they do it, it's going to be good for them, no matter what else is true.
Interesting. But that's separate from intention, then. Like that's not a skill I can
That's
use.
a skill you have to have on your sheet.
I thought you got cool and shine automatically.
You do, but we never looked at that.
Oh, I added it from the book.
We should change. You guys want to do this? Change all your sheets so you actually have cool and shine. Oh, I see. You just did it now. Okay. Yeah. So let's.
It was
do
there
that.
for a while.
Cool.
So you take your points out of passion or skill points, spend up to 5 on each.
Skill. Yeah. Actually, I think you just get these automatically. You get cool equal to your aspect trait. You get shine equal to your persona trait.
Okay. I'm just. Oops.
And if you want to change your skills and passions around to make those higher, you're free to. Yeah, cool is basically anything that, or just resists anything you think would make you less effective or less impressive. And shine is, like I said, it's makes other people more effective if they decide to do what you tell them to. But it's not something you use directly to create an intention.
Cool.
Alright, so you want to use your shine to help convince her?
If that's possible. Sorry, I was not pressing push to talk.
It's fine.
I was pressing my previous old and now defunct push to talk button, not the one I'm using now.
Right.
Is it possible to use shine? If not, I could probably use the closest thing I can think of is business. I'm not lying. But business includes convincing investors, shareholders, things like that.
Yeah, you can try and use business.
Okay. That is a 5.
Okay. Let me look at the mortal actions thing. Alright, you're doing something productive by asking her to come. She's just doing something effective. So yeah, I think you do convince her she'll come with you back to the chancel and see what she can do.
Perfect. Okay. Is that the next scene we want to have back in the chancel, or does someone else want to do something before then?
I'd like to do I think I'd like to catch music on the way out.
Okay. So I think you catch her on the steps, and she's just lighting a cigarette.
Cool. Yeah. So like it's after the service, right? And Livia's finished, and we've done the communion and that whole thing.
Sure.
And she's sticking around at that point. Like I think, like both Livia and I, because we're like weirdly both the bishops of this cathedral. We like both stand at like the exits to the church, like the church door, and like shake hands and like do the talk. And like as all of that winds down, I think I step over to music.
Sure, I think music was outside first. Like she actually stepped out before to have her cigarette, and so I think she's actually going to leave before that mass leaves.
Yeah.
So you'll have to talk to her before you give
No.
everybody to
Yeah, I don't
exit.
think I do it then. I think I miss her because I have duties to the church.
Okay, yep, fine. Take your
Gonna
MP.
get those MP later.
Take it now.
Oh,
You're
do I
actually
get them now?
supposed to get it now, but because
Oh
I
yeah.
always forget.
Yep. Nope.
Just take it
Can I
now.
just add them anywhere?
Yep.
How many do I get?
1. You get more if you break them.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I think everyone leaves the church. Change will stick around to go with you to your chancel. And Livia is going to talk with, the board of the church and see if they can figure out this 2 bishop thing.
Cool. Okay. Everyone's probably wondering, like, why haven't we talked about this before? We've had 2
Right.
bishops for the last few months. Huh.
Right. Totally. Yep, that makes sense. Can I, because I have a bond with my cathedral, can I anchor my cathedral?
You can. In what
I
way do you
think-
want to anchor it?
I mean, I believe it to be a mundane cathedral. So I think it's I don't know how this works, if I'm being entirely honest. Can I just say it's not a mundane cathedral? Can I just say this is a wondrous cathedral?
Well, right now it's a mundane cathedral, but you can do a treasure miracle to make it into a more powerful cathedral.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm a pretty low treasure character, so I think I'm just going to anchor it as a
Sure.
claiming anchor 0. Make an ordinary thing into an anchor.
Like a difficulty 3 miracle makes it a wondrous anchor. Then you would have to do another difficulty 3 to invoke its power.
Right. Yeah, and that's the part that like I don't think I can I can't regularly get up to that.
Sure.
So I think I just want something that ties me into the church and the mundane world. So I'm just going to claim it as a mundane action.
Sure.
Or a mundane.
So that's difficulty 0.
Yeah.
Do you want to become the best of its kind?
Yes.
Do you want to be obviously, right now, in front of everybody, become the best of its kind?
Yes.
Okay. So I think while people
and I think it happens. Can it happen over communion? Like specifically when, like, as I am, because I think Livia and I, if you're okay with this, again, like, stop me. I think Livia and I are like we both have like the wine and we both have like the little wafers of bread,
Sure.
right? And as we're going through this, everybody in the church feels like more holy. The church itself feels more holy. The stained glass, right? And it's the Cathedral of Saint Sebastian, so it has Saint Sebastian like tied to a. I don't know how much you know about the iconography of Saint Sebastian, but he's like tied to a pole and he's got arrows sticking out of him, and it's all like shining, and it's brilliant in that way. And there may be other details as well.
Oh, I was thinking like there might be like this wave of change where like obviously the stained glass is cleaned and shined. What was bronze is now gold. There is like
right,
like new curtains appear on the walls that are like fine silk. Before they were like probably made of cotton. Even the benches and the pews, before they were like oak or something, now they're like this really deep cherry with the small cherry smell of the cherry, like filling everyone's noses. And people are just wandering around, like looking in awe. Like I think like there's just this deep brown carpet, and the carpet disappears, and now there's like this finely tiled mosaic on the floor,
right,
with a big X in it somewhere.
Can it be physically bigger as well?
Yeah, like the roof goes up, and I think change turns to business. It says, "See, business. Anyone can affect change. Even the smallest miracle."
Um,
I roll my eyes.
can I argue a technicality on this point?
Sure.
Because in theory it helps me with this thing that Livia's about to go do.
Okay.
So, an anchor becomes at your option one of the best of its kind, mundanely available. So, the best church in America ostensibly would be an important one. So, can it, in the church record, suddenly become the primary church for the archdiocese of whatever the
Wasn't it
archdiocese
already?
is in this area?
Yeah. I think changing like the purpose of the church requires its own miracle,
Yeah, fair
because
enough.
it feels like Persona to me.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I was pushing it.
I think that's not a very difficult miracle, but I don't think that's automatic, because
Yeah.
like when you anchored Robert's cell phone, didn't suddenly become the most important cell phone in the world. You know, it
Yeah.
still is his cell phone. So I don't think
No,
that's within the bounds of aspect
Right.
zero. I mean, treasure zero.
Right.
Okay.
It's the best rural cathedral in its area.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
like you could even argue that maybe there are like gold statues now, like thinking back to the Spanish era and
Yeah.
how blinged out those churches were.
Yeah.
If you want to, I don't think by default there's giant gold statues filling the place. But
No,
you could go that
let's go
far
that
if you want.
I'm starting an evangelical movement within the Catholic Church. Let's push it. Let's do all that shit.
Oh, so yeah, gold statues just like melt
The,
out of the
the
floor.
opulence of the opulence of the papacy just in rural Virginia.
Yeah. I think your
Hey man,
robes.
this
now have,
is one of the best rural cathedrals in America.
like your robes now have rubies and emeralds sewn into them, and obviously the offering plates now are solid silver.
Right. All of that stuff.
Right. All right. So is anything you want to do with your new perfect church? All the people are like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? It's a miracle."
No, I think I'm good.
They say God has shown us His favor.
So, since this is Phineas's anchor church now, is there always like a finger of light coming in through the stained glass that like follows you around as you walk through the crowds?
Trek. The religion is not about me.
But is there?
Here's a question: is there an actual? You said that everyone feels more holy. Is there an actual presence of God now?
Yes, I think
that you can feel.
I think you can.
Like,
yeah,
kind of a mystical link.
Yeah, like I think the way that I've been approaching this is that or that I've been thinking about this anyway, is that Nobilis being a spiritual game. Like I don't think the church is a mundane thing, right? Like I think the church is a real thing, even if the entire Bible is, which it clearly is, objectively. I think the spirituality of it is still real, and I think what I'd like to have happen is people who come here feel that true presence of God. They feel that holiness, even if it's something they haven't felt before.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the purpose of any church is like a place to commune with the Lord, right? So you've just made this one of the best places to commune with the Lord.
Indeed.
So
possibly the.
Like Nobilis says that you can do miraculous actions on things. You have a mystic link to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing it out there.
You could literally answer people's prayers.
Or you could just trigger the second coming.
Also true.
Yeah, but
yeah.
sorry, I may be not understanding. Like, I'm still limited to my actions, though, right?
Yes, but now your actions can target God.
Can target God?
Yeah.
Oh,
that makes sense.
because I have a connection to the church, and the church is an actual connection to God.
Yep.
That's interesting.
That means that will help. That's good.
So at the end of this, I feel a connection to God differently than I did before.
Yeah. Like, you literally feel his presence the same way you can feel Trek's.
Right. Okay. Let's we've got 3 more episodes, right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. How big a miracle is it to destroy the property of God that made them extinct on Earth?
It's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how hard? Hang on. Let's pull up the rules for Persona. Hang on.
Think about the maximum hardness it could be.
Okay.
Difficulty 9 is allowing you to change how large portions of the world relate to your estate. So,
You're looking at what kind of miracle? Persona?
Well, I mean, I think it's a major destruction because I'm not changing the relationship to my estate. I'm changing the property that God currently has of being extinct and destroying it.
Okay.
I think that by definition, there is only one God, right? So them being dead.
Right.
Yeah, I see one of those charts says remove the extinctness of dinosaurs.
Right. So we've got lesser. I mean, this sounds like a major. This sounds like a greater rather than a lesser. Yes.
Yeah, I think about Persona, right?
Yeah. So difficulty 8, greater sacrifice. Difficulty 8, Persona miracles let you retract the dharma of your estate from things on a larger scale. I assume that God is a thing on a larger scale.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's 4. I need to spend 4 more, and I'm there.
Okay, remember, there's probably some, what's the word? Auctoritas?
Yeah, how big is God
from happening?
Yeah, probably.
Like, what is it that has been keeping God from returning to the world after all the angels of heaven looked for him?
I mean, maybe he's just taking a vacation. Dude works hard. Like,
good, yeah.
Yep. Okay, can I use bonds to get bonuses here?
Yeah.
I guess can I use my passions to get bonuses?
No.
Damn it. No, someone's moving my
Yeah, that's
sheet
me.
around.
I accidentally moved it around.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I don't think I have a bond here. Damn it. Okay. I have passions, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would occur to Phineas that that Octoritis is a thing anyway.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to burn the 4.
All right.
And in an attempt to undo God's extinction on Earth. And then it will advance. And I may try again later.
Sure. Okay, so you're going to fail, but I want to fail forward here. So you are given a vision of blackness. There's a room of complete blackness, and you can't see anything inside the room, but you can see the boundaries of the room, You see an octagonal formation of the walls, and a dome at the top, and a flat floor. You can sense something nearby
Mm-hmm.
that's giving off a lot of heat. And you can also sense something else nearby that's giving off a lot of light. But it's in the darkness, and therefore that light is being suppressed.
Mm-hmm. Those two things are within the box, or they're outside of the
Within it.
Okay.
And I think then your vision ends. It's probably a large box, about, let's see here, say 120, maybe 200 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm. Is it just floating in an abyss, or where is it set?
Well, you
Or am
don't
I
get
inside
any
it?
sense of where it is.
Okay. Because the vision comes from within it.
Yeah.
Got it. I think that ends me.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to pop back to the chancel?
I think so. Do we want to take a break first?
Oh yeah, I forget all about breaks. What are breaks? Let's take a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks for reminding me.
Perfect.